What's going on, friends? Logan Myerz here for Cinephellas.com, back doing the next review for the next chapter in the Star Wars show on Disney Plus streaming service, The Mandalorian. So they just released Chapter 2, titled The Child, a few days after the first episode was released last week, so they released on Friday. So if you guys saw the first episode, the very end was really amazing, setting up the Mandalorian and a character that we're familiar with, a baby Yoda. The Mandalorian essentially coming across a young baby Yoda and killing off the droid because the droid was going to kill the baby. And at this point, it's the Mandalorian and a young baby Yoda taking off on this new adventure. And right from the get-go, I love this little creature. It's so cute. I was telling my wife, I'm like, I want one of these. I want a baby Yoda. Can we please invest in one of these? How do we get these? I really had a great time with this episode of them introducing this character and what exactly young Yoda, what kind of powers it has. So the Mandalorian is essentially a glorified babysitter in this episode. He's protecting the young Yoda. They're going on this adventure. Right from the start of the episode, there's a lot of action, a lot of fighting, seeing what the Mandalorian is really capable of doing in terms of fighting and shooting and all that good stuff. He's played by Pedro Pascal. But I really love the Mandalorian. They kind of humanize this character in the first two episodes. You feel for this character, what he's kind of going through. And, bounty hunters, they're bloodthirsty, they kill. But in terms of the Mandalorian, there's a softer side to this character, which I really appreciate. You can see that it's trying to set up more of a story to this character, more than like Boba Fett. And I really like how it's more humanized and you feel and have emotions for this character. This episode sets up a lot of really great, again, practical effects and CGI. There's just one amazing fight scene with this giant rhinoceros kind of thing, looking thing. I don't know what it's called, but him and the Mandalorian are duking it out. You see the baby Yoda kind of sitting over on the sidelines, just its eyes and ears, and looks super cute, and just watching. It's like a commentator, essentially. He's just from the audience. Like, Mandalorian, kick its ass, come on, let's get out of here. It's really funny, the baby Yoda throughout was just like kind of chilling off into the side while Mandalorian's doing all the work. But we do have the reintroduction in this episode to characters that we are familiar with. If you guys have seen A New Hope in 1977, the movie that started it all, I'm talking about Jawas, are in this episode. They come across the Mandalorian and baby Yoda. They essentially take some parts from Mandalorian's ship that Mandalorian has to take off and get an egg for them. In return, he'll get the parts for the ship, and he could be on his way with young Yoda. So the Jawas are introduced, and I absolutely love them with their little capes and eyes, their little voices. It made me laugh this episode, how they're talking to one another. My wife was laughing at the same time, so it's cool seeing those creatures again. Really great episode. I think I enjoyed this one a little more than the first episode, just more fleshing out of the characters. Each episode seems like he's going to go on this adventure and fighting off new creatures and other things we have not seen across the galaxy, and then also introducing young Yoda, young baby Yoda, and him being the glorified babysitter and protecting this young creature. And I was reading online, The Mandalorian, I guess, is only 3 to 5 years after Return of the Jedi. I thought it was supposed to be like 30 to 40 or more years after. So it's not too long after Return of the Jedi, meaning I'm sure we're going to see a lot more characters and creatures showing up in The Mandalorian that we're familiar with from the original film. So I'm really excited about that. This episode was fantastic, really well shot, great story, had a lot of heart in it as well, and you're starting to feel attached to this character, the Mandalorian, and showing that he's not just a bounty hunter, he's also humanized as well. Has feelings and emotions of him taking care of this young creature, making sure nobody hurts him or her, I guess they'd never really say, but making sure that the creature, the young baby Yoda, is protected. So that was really fantastic. And I can't wait to see how the relationship grows throughout the entire show. And one thing I almost forgot to bring up, we could see the young baby Yoda has some powers, maybe something with the Force in this episode, which was really great. And Yoda and Mandalorian, they really work great together, and anything they come across, they can conquer and defeat. So really great chemistry with these two characters. So I had a great time with The Mandalorian episode 2, titled The Child, really focusing on young baby Yoda and the Mandalorian in this episode. A lot of great things they come across and people they fight, and a lot of characters we've seen in the past in other movies. I think they're going to be crossing paths with the Mandalorian and young baby Yoda. So it was a really great episode. I can't wait to see the upcoming week. Episode 3, Chapter 3. I can't wait to see what happens to these characters. And I had a really great time with this. So overall, I'm going to give The Mandalorian Chapter 2, The Child, a 4.5 out of 5 young baby Yoda hair pieces. So what did you guys think of episode 2? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What do you think is going to happen in the rest of the episodes of The Mandalorian? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myerz signing out with my favorite group of Jawas. Until the next Mandalorian video review. Cheers!